Thank you, Madam Speaker. I must begin by registering very strong protest on behalf of the minority side as to the presence of this motion on the order paper this afternoon. When I saw this motion on the order paper, I called, and the records can show, I called the Leader of Majority, the Honorable Senator for Kericho, Aaron Cheriot. I was unable to reach him because we in this House have agreed that we will not transact business by ambush. It is not a surprise. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I am extremely disappointed that it is very contemptuous for you to introduce a motion in such a way, because it gives us a very difficult time in the leadership to guide our members as to how to treat this particular motion. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I protest because I don't like being made to look like a fool. Yesterday, after resolutions passed by the Central Committee of ODM, I was reading a statement saying that ODM will not countenance any further delays in the selection process of the IEBC commissioners, only to be told today that there is a motion on the order paper to extend time for this panel to do its job. And what's worse, Honorable Speaker, when I reached out to my leadership in the National Assembly, our counterparts there, they forwarded to me a letter from this panel, signed by the chair of the panel himself. The first thing I noticed, this letter was dated the 20th of March. This is 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Honorable Speaker. This House has no idea. The second problem is that that letter is addressed only to the Speaker of the National Assembly, continuing this spate of contempt for the Senate, when they knew very well that this matter has to be processed through both houses of Parliament. Honorable Speaker, it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable that we continue to be treated with such contempt. So when I go through the letter, I'm trying to find out what are the reasons. And it is clear that even the mover of this motion has no access to that request. And by the way, in that request, this panel is asking for 30 days, not 14 days. It is the National Assembly that set it at 14 days, and there is nothing that stops us as a House at setting that deadline at 4 days or 7 days or 2 days if we wanted to. And they are citing various reasons. By the way, I do not hold brief for this panel. And I have strongly objected to, I don't want to be distracted, Honorable Speaker. Strongly objected to this.
He does not want to be informed. Let him finish.
I strongly object to some of these insinuations that somehow ODM is the one running this panel. And if you read the newspapers today, you would think that there is a war between me and Senator Wambua. It is not going to happen. Me and Senator Wambua are never going to fight. But the truth of the matter is, we also do not want these incessant accusations against ODM. Honorable Speaker, if you hear the names of the constituencies by elections that are being mentioned, majority of them are held by ODM. ODM was holding Ugunja. We are holding Magarini. We have a nominee to cabinet. And there is a young man from Kajiado waiting to replace John Bad in the National Assembly. If anything, we are the ones who are suffering the greatest prejudice. Some of these political parties that you see making noise about ODM, and I have asked Senator Wambua to distance himself and his party from some of these non-entities making noise, and you know very well that they cannot field a candidate in Banisa. They are village political parties. I don't know what, Senator Wambua, you are doing with these characters. I want to dissuade you from hanging out with these people, because if you just moved a bit, you would allow me to deal with these people mundu kumundu. And they know me. And I don't want you to catch strays, as we say in the streets. Honorable Speaker, some of the reasons these people have given, they are saying that the time is too short because they shortlisted 116 people. I personally took time to watch one of those interviews. And I'm being vindicated because I said, these commissioners, the panelists, are talking too much. They like to listen to themselves. Instead of putting a question to a candidate and allowing them to talk, somebody is asking a windy, long question. And now I am being asked, after complaining that they are talking too much, they write to me to extend time so that we can listen to them more. We don't want to hear what you have to say. We want the candidates, the people who are coming to run elections, to speak so that we can know what they are all about. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to conclude and say, even if I'm inclined, even if I'm persuaded, please, the sort of contempt that is being extended to this Senate will not be allowed to go on any further. Mr. Makanda should have known that there are 2 houses of Parliament. He is a PhD holder, for heaven's sake. He should have written to our Speaker and written to the Speaker of the National Assembly on the 20th, and we would have had time to debate this motion and give him what he wants. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.